What's up, guys? Welcome back for another episode. As you can see, we got a special guest at HQ. We have Built by Ben, aka Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan. And in the last episode, we did a wash cast, right? And we're gonna continue with this episode about some of the things that he has seen of the new generation M's and some things that you probably wanna hear. All right, so Ben, as you're getting this all washed and stuff, you've gone through some training with some of the new generation M3s, M4s. You've seen it probably.
Yeah.
Can you give us some hints? I know, look, I don't want to press your luck because I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but there's certain things you could probably release, right? And certain things you probably can't.
No, of course.
What are we looking at? What do you have to tell people?
Well, I don't even know how to start that. It's definitely going to be interesting, right? BMW is moving into the future, and that's something that you guys have seen if you follow, BMW on YouTube or even on social media.
Or BMW blog, because BMW blog is well connected with BMW itself.
Yeah.
They get a lot of the press access, right?
Correct.
And I'm not sure what type of relationship they have, but they do have a good relationship. But going into it, continue.
Yeah, so we're moving into the future, right? BMW, since the dawn of time, has always been a few steps ahead of everyone else, right? If you pay attention, right, BMW will do something and then other manufacturers will kind of follow suit, right? So if you look at the iDrive 8 screen, maybe now you'll see it in a Kia, maybe now you'll see it in a Ford, maybe now you'll see it in, a Chevy, so on and so forth, right? Kind of similar design, Hyundai, not obviously exactly the same, but BMW has always been kind of the front runner when it comes to experimenting with stuff, trying out new things, which also tends to hurt them a little bit because then you have people complaining like, oh, this doesn't work and that doesn't work, but at the same time, they're the ones trying it before anyone else, so if anybody's watching this and you have what's called gesture control, where you can raise the volume and lower the volume with your fingers and hands, well, BMW did that before anyone else. So again, they're always trying to be the front runner, they're always trying to be the leader, they're always trying to be a little bit ahead of everything else. So when it comes to that, again, this body design of the G8X chassis is timeless, right? I feel like majority of BMWs, especially special ones, are timeless the way they look. This car in 10 years will probably still fit in with cars that are being produced brand new 10 years from now, right? Just based off of the way it looks, the body lines, the curvature, everything.
And that's how the F8X did, because technically that car is old now. Right?
Yeah, technically, that car is extremely old now.
It's 10 years old now because it came out in 2015, right?
Exactly, yeah. The F8X came out in 2015, but if you saw one driving on the road, you probably wouldn't think that car was made in 2015. So again, BMW is just always kind of ahead of it when it comes to those type of things. So when I say that they're moving towards the future with, the new iteration of not only just the regular model BMWs, but also the M's, they're going to look very futuristic as well.
So how much bigger are we looking at for the vehicle? I know every generation, and I'm not sure if this is something that you could answer because every generation gets bigger, right? All across the board, between the 3 Series to the 5 Series and so on and so forth.
Yeah, size-wise, I think it would be pretty much comparable. I don't think they're going to get too much bigger in that sense.
Because everybody compares the new 3 Series M to be like a 5 Series,
correct,
right? From the previous generation.
Yeah.
The E60s and stuff, like the body shape feels the same.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And based off of the knowledge that I have,
and that you could give,
and that I can give, it's pretty much going to be relatively the same. What you guys are seeing now, what you own now, within the next 5-6 years, nothing will be the same. Nothing will be the same. The generation of BMWs that is to come next is going into production in about 2 months. And that generation is what BMW is calling the new E-Class. And new E-Class just means new class. It's just German for new class. And that is going to be what is going to be replacing pretty much everything that we know and currently drive. You kind of got they've been giving you little teasers here and there, you know, through social media, right? Like when
these weird headlights and taillights, the high kick.
The high kick spoiler.
Is that something that we're definitely going to see?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that one. But
I'm going to hit you with so many questions now.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so whatever we've been seeing, right? Because we just saw that they had a press conference in somewhere in Asia, right?
Yeah.
Where they had that new M electric car climbing a wall or a vertical ramp.
Correct.
Is that very similar to what you saw? Because that's already out. No?
Yes and no.
The headlights are probably going to be different and the taillights are going to be different.
I can't answer that.
Okay.
But what BMW was trying to do was they were trying to display, again, not in that sense what is to come, but the technology that they're using and how advanced it is to be able to give you what is to come, right? So if you've seen any of the videos with that, you know, quote unquote, what everybody is calling the new M3 going around the track, I can't even remember how much horsepower it was, but it was going crazy.
About 1,000, I think you were saying.
Yeah, I think it was like 1,000 or like 1,700 or something, some crazy number. But it was going around the track. It had all that downforce, you know, and again, that was BMW displaying some things that they're doing. So in that sense, you know, even the interiors are going to be completely different. Like a lot of people are used to having your heads up be right here in this little box. But what I can tell you is that the heads up is going to encompass the entire windshield moving forward.
Wait. So you're saying that you're not only just going to see it from the driver's point of view, but your passengers and your rear passengers might be able to see it too, and it encompasses the entire windshield, so basically more distractions?
Essentially, yeah, more distractions. At least that's what's in development right now. It's going to encompass the lower section of your...
Do you want me to block that off from the previous segment, or can you say that?
No, I can say that.
Okay.
It's going to take over that little... essentially this much. So if it starts here, it's probably going to go like right about to here, maybe even a little further, and that's going to be your new head up. As of right now, things are obviously able to change, right? I'm not an engineer. You know, I don't make the final decisions when it's all said and done, but from what we've seen, that's what we're looking at right now. And the interior is going to be drastically different as well. Like I said, nothing is going to be the same. The cars aren't going to look the same exterior-wise, interior-wise. It's all changing.
And are we looking at hybrids? Because I know obviously the new generation, you know, M5s are hybrids, right? And the first hybrid that technically was out was the XM. Is that correct? Was the first hybrid M car?
Yeah. So, well, it depends on how far you want to go back, but yeah. In that sense, with what BMW was trying to do, yes, it was the first plug-in hybrid M car that BMW had produced, and now the M5 being the second.
And they're still stuck on lots.
Which ones, the XMs or the M5s? Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Well, I mean, that car for BMW was kind of a WTF car, because when you see one, you're kind of like, WTF? You know
I kind of liked it. I drove one in South Carolina when I was at the BMW CCA, was the MIX event.
Yeah.
And I've driven that car like I stole it, because they tell you to drive it. And
absolutely.
I gotta say, it was, for me, it felt numb. I can see what people say when a car drives numb.
Yeah.
But it's not like a sports sedan. It was a sports SUV, so.
Correct, yeah. I mean,
it was heavy. It was heavy.
Those things, they move though. Even though they're heavy, they move. They still handle phenomenally. Obviously, it being an M, you still have to take that into consideration, and so does BMW. But to answer your question, yes, we will still have hybrids, and we will have EVs. What I will say is, and what I can say is that anybody who's watching this,
BMW's watching this, because the title and thumbnail, they're going to be like, should we fire Ben?
BMW North America. If you've owned an EV, a fully electric vehicle, up until this point, you've pretty much been a test dummy.
Oh, okay.
Not in a bad way,
for
right?
all the data and stuff.
For all the data, right? Because BMW, I mean, how else are they supposed to test it? How else are they supposed to get consumers' feedback on the vehicle, what they like, what they don't like? So up until this point, you've pretty much been a test dummy for, again, what is to come in the future.
So are we seeing gas-powered M3s, or are we seeing, or you can't tell me?
I can't answer that question. On camera, I can't answer that question. I'll tell you later, Ken. It's like I said in the last video, if you were not a fan of the G8X platform, you are not going to be a fan of the successor.
But some people are, because you know they want the newest and better thing. And
Of
a lot
course.
of people lease their cars and they turn the lease, and it could be a business write-off. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me, and I'm just saying this out of the bat, if BMW switches to a all-electric M3, I don't see myself getting one. And you know, it's something that I like, right? I like to hear the engine noise. I like to hear the exhaust tone, because what comes after that? Your exhaust mod is going to be upgrading speakers.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, right? Just like Tesla, you'll be activating all types of things from the speakers inside the car. But
So you can't tell us if it's EV fully or anything. And again, I just don't want to get you in trouble.
yeah, no, I can't tell you that. But there will be combustion engines in the future, and there will be EVs in the future. I just can't tell you which ones are getting which. But the M will always perform, whether it's an EV or it's combustion, because that's what it's designed to do, right? And right now, with how things are being mandated in laws and emissions laws, you know, things are swaying in directions that we don't want them to sway, right? If you're a purist, if you love the sound of your engine, if you love the sound of the exhaust system, yeah.
and it's not even just the United States, right? Because BMW has to look into other countries in Europe and stuff. And a lot of the emissions and stuff is actually very stringent in Europe.
Oh,
because
yeah,
they have
absolutely.
OPF sensors, right? They have, I think they're very strict on modifying your exhaust or anything it's in general itself.
Yeah.
So it has to be TUV certified, things like that. So yeah, it's not only just the United States, but you have a lot of that stringent issues with other countries, which BMW has to cater to also.
Correct, and that's millions of dollars of research and development in order to appease, you know, other countries as well as America that they sell in. So at some point, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And I know you guys are like, oh, well, you know, BMW makes billions of dollars. Well, it's also billions of dollars and millions of dollars in research and development. So kind of got to weigh the odds, I guess you would say.
Okay, can you tell us a cool feature that this next gen is going to have besides being a skateboard car or climbs on a freaking ramp? But is there anything else that's cool about the car besides the heads-up display? Are we going to be able to switch from from rear-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, or is it going to come all-wheel drive? Will it have the ZF8 speed, or will it have a new generation transmission?
You'll have those options. I can't be too specific on which options, but you'll have those options in the new generation cars. Obviously, new generation, you're going to get new engines, right? You're going to get new engines, you're going to get new drivetrains, you're going to get new electric motors, you're going to get new everything, right? Because it's a new generation. If you pay attention to BMW, historically, you know, you usually get a generation change every 6 to 10 years. So we are approaching that window, right? Because if you look at this previous generation of M, it went from 2015 to 2020 if you count the M4, and then we got the next generation of this. But for a whole full life cycle change, for every model to change, it's usually around that 6-10 year window when every single car no longer looks like its predecessor. So.
What else? Give us some more hints, man.
The bodies are definitely going to be interesting. I'm excited to see them. I will tell you that you will start to see the new 3 Series by December this year.
Okay.
And that will be your
layout.
Yeah, your best example of what the M3 is going to look like. Because obviously.
So you've seen the new 3 Series?
Yeah.
Okay, and it doesn't have to be 58. It has,
No, well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. You know, right now we're on Gen 3 of the B58, right? You have the B58 TU, TU2, and then TU3. And the TU3 is pretty much in everything that's 2025 to 2026, or late year 2024.
And as somebody that knows the car community and stuff, do you think this is going to be a hot seller, right? Because of what you've seen and what you know about people modifying it, is this going to be a hot seller?
Depends on the crowd. It depends on the crowd, honestly. I think that BMW stopped making cars for enthusiasts a long time ago. I think it really died with the beginning of the F8X, and it's kind of just kept going down from there.
I think it's becoming like, who can be the most technological advanced
Correct.
manufacturer, because
Yeah,
that's what we're all striving towards, and hugging a tree and stuff.
that's hilarious. Yeah, well, I mean, I just feel like BMW is making these cars for the new generation, right? When a new generation BMW owner sees this, they're like, wow, that thing's beautiful. The color is beautiful. Everything about it looks beautiful. But then to guys like me and you, or even guys like you guys watching this, they're like, man, that looks weird. The body lines are weird. It's too big. It's too encompassing to what we're used to. So I think that BMW truly is making cars for the new generation of owners, right? BMW owners, and they've stopped making those cars for people like me and you guys watching.
And also too, like, I think the next gen, it's going to be roughly, obviously faster, but it's also not going to be faster than the M5, right? Because they would not make it faster than the M5. Is that correct?
Next generation of what?
M3s?
No, of course, no, yeah. Obviously, you'll always have your
Trajectory,
yeah, of course, right? Because the number also equivalates to the price, which equivalates to the power, so on and so forth. So the higher you go, the more expensive it is, and the more power you get. So if the M3 comes out, blazing with 1,000 plus horsepower, then the M5, you can only imagine how much they're going to put in that when that comes out. So Ken's face.
All right, so just to give you guys a hint, I am not going to get the new M3. And anything else to tell people? Because you're about that time limit up, because you got to get to Haggerty.
Yeah.
Because he's going to a swingers party.
One last thing I can say, which won't get me in trouble, is you will have options, and that'll be between motors of what you want. So you'll have options with motors, and that's all I can give you.
Let me ask you a question. What's the idea with that BMW with D? Remember D?
Yeah.
What was that? Because when that came out, everybody was like, what the hell is BMW doing? And it was weird because it made it seem like BMW got hacked at one point. That was their whole scheme. And
yeah, it was a whole marketing scheme. D was...
I hated it, actually.
It's
kind of annoying.
Yeah, I mean, D was, again, another glimpse of what's to come in the future, right? You kind of have it in these new cars now, right, as your AI system. Mm-hmm. If you remember how D sounded, if you talk to your car now, it kind of sounds like D. So it was kind of like their AI system that they were hinting at, possibly.
But also they had paint or exterior body panels.
Exterior body panels that would change color. We're not there yet, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not Blade Runner, right? We're not that far into the future.
That sounds pretty expensive if it were to break.
That'd be very expensive.
Any car accident is totaled.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much how every EV car is now. But yeah, that's about all I can give you today, buddy. That's all I can give you and the viewers of what's to come.
Without losing your job.
Without losing my job. I'm sure, wow.
Oh.
I'm sure some of you guys will be excited for what's to come. I'm personally excited because I'm going to get to work on it. I'm going to get to see it, obviously, before any of you. Unless you have your ins and outs with BMWs like I do. But yeah, we'll see if it's for the better or for the worse.
So other than that, we want to thank you guys for watching this episode. If you guys could do me a solid, hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow. It also helps, motivate me and also Ben to start up a YouTube channel. But I definitely want to appreciate Ben from coming out here to waste my water to get a free car wash.
Absolutely, anytime, buddy.
And to just chop it up again. But also, in a future video, we're going to have to get him here to do a couple modifications on his car, because there's probably an oil cooler guard that you should probably throw on, and we're going to get that set up one day. And just get that going, because that is very beneficial for you guys to watch, and also for any potential owners that don't have that protected already. But
highly recommended. Highly recommended.
But we'll see you. Yep.
Yeah. No, I was saying highly recommended for that oil cooler guard. Yeah.
So other than that, we want to thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Actually, we're going to be going to San Diego in a few weeks.
Yeah, in a few weeks. We'll actually be in San Diego for SD Beamers. So.
And also shooting some promo for the invasion of Los Angeles. And we're going to do it big this year.
Be ready.